A humble Brussels sprout. Thankfully, this is something that my mother didn't get a chance to cook. I found a great recipe that I've added to my rotation of vegetables called Brussels sprout salad. It came from America's Test Kitchen. I love those guys a lot. The good thing about this recipe is there's a lot of levers. And what I mean by levers is that you can substitute a lot of the ingredients in and out, and you can make this ahead of time. So let's get started. Okay, we have a pound of Brussels sprouts. You're going to take a little slice off the top. You're going to cut it in half. And then you're going to actually just slice it very thin. Now let's pause for a second. This is a very tedious part of this whole recipe, is chopping these all up in half and shredding them that thin. So I do recommend using the food processor, but I'm going to continue to chop because I'm an idiot. All right, after a little bit of tedious exercise, I shredded these Brussels sprouts pretty well. Now what we're going to do is actually make sort of like a mini dressing without the oil, the vinegar. We're going to use lemon juice instead. But I'm going to talk to you about what these ingredients are and how this makes it all work very well. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1 to 2 cloves of garlic minced, a little bit of salt, a little bit of onion. Now you could use shallots, chives, any other kind of onion just to give it a little bit of a different flavor. So I'm going to do a little bit of onions here. All right, and then here's my shameless plug. My friend owns Bear Smoked barbecue sauce. This is a mustard sauce. This stuff is really good. I use this instead of Dijon. There's about 1 tablespoon here. So I'm going to put that in here. All right, mix that together. All right, and then you're going to take a 1/4 cup of olive oil. This is what sort of the base for your dressing. All right, now before we get started, the reason why we have this works is because the lemon, which is acid, is going to break down the Brussels sprouts into be nice and tender versus really hard and hard to chew. So that you can do this 30 minutes to 2 hours before you're going to eat. And that lemon juice is going to break down these Brussels sprouts really well. And then afterwards, when you're ready to serve the Brussels sprout salad, you're going to add about a 1/4 cup of toasted pine nuts and 2/3 of a cup of Pecorino Romano cheese. So I'm going to fold these in. Just give this a good mix. It's going to sit, and the lemon juice is definitely going to break down the Brussels sprouts to the point you can actually eat that and enjoy it like a normal salad. So that's why people are like, I would never eat Brussels sprouts raw, but this is going to break it down very well. We'll get back to you soon. Folks, all right, this is what it looks like after a few hours in the fridge, and actually with the lemon juice breaking down the Brussels sprouts. You can see the color is definitely deepened, got a little bit more yellow, and really brightened up that green. Now the test is really going to be if it's softened up the Brussels sprout enough to make it tender enough so I'm not eating like pure raw Brussels sprouts. Oh my goodness. The cheese goes really well with this, and all the other flavors have melded together. Great recipe to try and keep in your rotation. Eat, drink, savor.